Hi, second graders. We made it to Friday. So today I just want to spend a few minutes looking at our story, The Bremen Town Musicians, and about how the characters have a conversation in this story. So get ready to listen, please. So this week we read The Bremen Town Musicians, and the genre is a drama. And a drama is a story that was written to be acted out for others. And another name for that might be a play. But this was also a fairy tale. And a fairy tale usually takes place long ago and far away and has fantastic characters. And I am sure that you have read other fairy tales and other dramas, other plays. So you might have remembered some of those elements when you were reading this story this week. But I wanted to focus in on one of my favorite parts in this story, and it was towards the end. Remember, stories have a beginning, middle, and an end. And in the end here, I wanted to focus on these characters. Now, as I was reading this, I know that there was some dialogue going on, that there were characters speaking in this story, but I didn't see any quotation marks. We usually see quotation marks telling us who is speaking and what they're saying. But the author in a drama tells us who is speaking by giving that character's name and usually bold texting it so it sticks out a little bit. So we know right here there's a conversation, some dialogue, some speaking going on between the robbers, robber 1, robber 2, and robber 3. The narrator is just telling us what's happening at the story. But these three characters are having a conversation. And it's important that their conversation and the events that happen in this part of the story affect the ending. So we needed this little conversation right here. Otherwise, the story might have ended very differently. Let's refresh our memory what this part of the story was saying. So robber 1 says, "That noise was probably just the wind. Besides, I can't wait to eat the rest of that roast beef." And that's telling me he's really not scared anymore. He's telling the others that it's okay to go in there, and robber 2 sounds like he agrees with him. "I can taste those mashed potatoes right now." Robber 3, though, says, "I'll go first just to make sure it's safe." So when I read that, he sounded a little hesitant, a little maybe worried of something that might be going on in that house. But without this, the ending would have been very different. So characters and how they respond to events in the story, how they react to things that happen, affect the story. Like I said, if this little part of the story didn't happen, the ending would have been very different. The ending could have happened right here. They just ended up the animals having a very pleasant evening and getting some rest. So as you're reading, think about the characters in their conversation and how they are responding or what they're doing when something happens in a story. And see if that does make other things happen in the story or how that affects the ending of the story. I love looking at the characters when I read and thinking about them and their actions and how they're reacting to events in the story. It makes the story so much more interesting. So, happy reading today. Happy reading this weekend. And I'll be back on Monday.